The Detroit Lions passed on Micah Parsons in the 2021 NFL Draft, taking Penei Sewell 7th overall. And then just a few picks later, Micah Parsons went to the Dallas Cowboys. And Micah has had quite a bit to say about the Detroit Lions. Many years ago when Jalen Ramsey was up to be traded and Amon-Ra shot his shot for Jalen Ramsey to come to the city of Detroit, Micah Parsons tweeted, "Ain't nobody trying to move from LA to Detroit." Well, Micah, how about moving from Dallas to Detroit? Because you've had a lot to say about the Detroit Lions in the past few months, from them and the winning ways that they have established over the past 3 seasons, now into year 4. And while the Dallas Cowboys trajectory is going down, the Detroit Lions are on the up and up. And we, dare I say, have a potential dynasty on our hands. And the Dallas Cowboys look like they are in the midst of a potential kind of retool, if you will. They just paid CeeDee Lamb, paid Dak Prescott, and now they have a situation where they are going to have to pay Micah Parsons. Now, he is in year 4. They're going into year 5, and you would assume that the Dallas Cowboys would do something like extend Micah Parsons. But I will tell you what, Jerry Jones is on the verge of senile, it seems, because he does not make the best decisions for the organization. But one thing he will do, even if he waits to the last minute, it seems like he will pay. But what if Micah Parsons is no longer in Detroit? Well, we heard what Micah Parsons had to say, and I think that his kind of thought process is changing as of late, because winning and culture is a big deal. And while Dallas may be America's team, or they were before the Detroit Lions kind of took the world by storm, the Detroit Lions are building something special, from their coach to their organization to their fan base. Now, we've heard what Micah Parsons had to say, but his dad was on a podcast. I'm going to link this YouTube channel as the pinned comment, the Life in the Stands, a very small YouTube channel that interviewed Micah Parsons' father. And there's no denying that this dude is his dad, looks just like him, just a little darker. But they asked him a question about if things don't work out in Dallas, and I want you guys to take a look. Here's what Micah Parsons' dad had to say about where he would like to see Micah go if things don't work out in Dallas.
He liked that too.
So obviously it's a business, but if for some reason Micah can't get things worked out, like contract-wise or anything like that, to stay with the Cowboys in a perfect, well, not a theoretical world, where would you like to see him be traded to?
My top 3 teams: Kansas City, Detroit, Pittsburgh. And I know Pittsburgh fans is like, whoa, but I'm sorry. Him and Watt together would be like cheating.
Yeah, preach.
Him and Hutchinson together in Detroit would be like cheating. I love it. And in Kansas City, they just, that's who they are right now.
Man, Chris Jones, though, too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So Micah Parsons' dad would love to see Micah Parsons traded to one of 3 teams: the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and our Detroit Lions. I guarantee you, back in 2021, nobody was saying that they wanted their child to come to Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown said that is the one team he did not want to get traded to. Isn't it funny how things have changed in such a short period of time? And it's funny to me because I think what's happening is not only players, but people's parents as well, they're starting to see the effect that the Detroit Lions organization can have on their players. Outside of a little situations with Jamison Williams, there's not a ton of things going on. We have one player that have a podcast, Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? They are seeing not only the winning ways, but the positive effect that a culture and an organization like the Detroit Lions is having on the players. And it's good for them. It's good for them. Now, everybody saw Micah's viral moment after the game. I believe it was Monday night, when former Detroit Lion, Amani Oruwariye, decided that he wanted to mimic his former teammate from a few weeks earlier and take a potential kick return, onside kick back to the crib. It went off his left shoulder, and that was it. And the Bengals went down and scored a touchdown and essentially ended the Dallas Cowboy season. So Micah Parsons playing for the Detroit Lions. We've talked about this before. Now, when this guy is healthy, he's an absolute dog. Coming off that linebacker position, can play defensive end a little. He's a little small, but he is a force to be reckoned with. And his dad didn't tell no lie. Him and Hutch would be ridiculous. It really would. And the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to make a decision. Are they going to pay somebody like Micah Parsons? And the thing about it is Micah Parsons is going to have to be traded for the Detroit Lions to get him anytime soon. If he's not extended, then they would have to trade him this offseason or potentially before the trade deadline in 2025 because he is going into his last season as a Dallas Cowboy. And that is going to be something in the offseason. But Micah Parsons, a Detroit Lion. How would you feel? I don't know, man. I feel like Micah, his talents on the field are one thing. Off the field, no off the field issues or anything like that, but you got the podcast, you've got some of the comments made. And one thing I will say is I'm not going to put past anyone coming to Detroit and the Detroit Lions, their culture will rub off on them. Who knows? Micah Parsons could come to Detroit and be a totally different player, totally different person. Jared Goff, a better person, a better man, a better player than he was with the LA Rams. Amon-Ra St. Brown, we mentioned him earlier. A guy that said, I do not want to come to Detroit. Wasn't happy when he got drafted to Detroit. And now the best decision, he could not see himself anywhere else. And in addition to that, it worked out. It was the best thing to happen to St. Brown. We are about blue collar, hardworking, from the dirt. That's what we do. We earn everything we get, right? We're not silver spoon like the Dallas Cowboys. That's not who we are. So I'm not going to say Micah Parsons as a Detroit Lion would be toxic because who knows, man? Being part of this culture, this team, this fan base could change him as a person and as a player. But what do you think about Dad? Dad saying that the Detroit Lions, one of the teams that he would like to see Micah Parsons traded to if indeed he wound up getting traded and things don't work out in Dallas. That is a very interesting thing. I wonder what Micah has to say about that. It's going to be interesting to see if he talks about this on his podcast on Tuesday. But one thing I do know is this. Dallas, you can only 12-win seasons, and now you are not even going to make the playoffs. Realistically, the Dallas Cowboys aren't going anywhere anytime soon. You know what? Here's what I'll say about Micah Parsons and maybe a transition to a different organization, even the Detroit Lions. Sometimes when the Detroit Lions are a much smaller market than the Dallas Cowboys, we don't get as much attention as they do. We're not under as much scrutiny as they are. Sometimes that could be good. I mean, Dallas is a tough place to play. America's supposed team. It's a lot of pressure on people to perform and to be winners. You hear Dallas Cowboy fans talk about not winning. Then you got to deal with Jerry Jones. I mean, one thing about Sheila's out the way. She lets the football guys and the football minds take care of business, which allows us to be where we are today. We don't have a general manager and an owner, pulling double duty, right? So things could be different if Micah Parsons was to come to Detroit. Now, would I want him in Detroit? I'm not going to say I wouldn't, but you have the situation about paying. We're not going to be able to pay Hutch, and because Hutch was drafted right after. So we're talking about a situation where we would have to pay Hutch, which is no doubt going to come this offseason, and then we would have to find a way to pay Micah Parsons. And I'm going to tell you what, if we had a guy like that, and then we had just ironically, we have Zadarius Smith as well for another season. So if that was to happen, we would have, it would be over for the NFL. I'm not going to lie. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I think it's kind of ironic and telling that the Detroit Lions are now organization where even parents are saying, hey, you know what? Wouldn't mind if my son was to go there. So we'll see how this thing works out, if Micah Parsons is going to have anything to say on his podcast come Tuesday. But that viral moment, was, it was kind of funny and heartbreaking at the same time. If he wasn't a Dallas Cowboy, I would feel really, really bad for him. One thing about the NFL, man, you never know when the camera is on you. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Would you, if Brad Holmes can figure out a way to make it happen, would you want the Detroit Lions to trade for Micah Parsons? It would be something. I tell you what, you wouldn't know where it's coming from. I mean, Micah, and Aiden and whoever we draft as well, it would be insane. So again, I just want to let you guys know about the Green Gridiron promotion that's going on. The more you spend, the more you save. You spend $50, you save $5. You spend $100, you save $10. You spend $250, you save $40. You spend $500, you save $100. You spend $1,000, you save $250. So it's almost like getting $250 worth of stuff for free. Also, the Ridge wallet, love my Ridge wallet. Consider getting one of your own, especially if you're trying to compartmentalize, kind of minimalize things, man. It made me take stuff out of my wallet that was in there for years. I love it. I'm going to actually probably try to put the money clip on today, but you can save 10% off the already discounted price. I believe that's going to run maybe for the next couple of weeks, where you get that additional, they're on sale, and you can get an additional 10% off by putting in promo code at checkout, YouTube10, YouTube10. Everything you purchase through an affiliate link helps me out, helps us keep this channel rolling the way that it is. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I will be at Ford Field tomorrow. I'm going to bring the Jared Goff head again because I believe that we are going to introduce the offense tomorrow. So I'm going to have that. So look for me with a giant Jared Goff head, man. I will see you at the stadium tomorrow. Post-game show should happen shortly after. I got to pick up the kid from his mom's house, from Ford Field, and then we will go live and talk about our Detroit Lions, hopefully being 13-1, having the best record that they've ever had, the most wins they've ever had in an NFL season.